Spirit Bus fam, welcome. Grab your favorite drink, a cozy blanket, take a seat, buckle up, fam. Episode number 48.
Your spiritual beings having a human experience.
Thank you for having this human experience, same time as me. Thank you for adding your energy into this space. I appreciate you. I hope that your challenge of meditating for 7 days in a row is going well. I invite you to keep going, not just with meditation, but practices that evolve your mind, body, belief system. Practices that continue to align you with your favorite version of yourself. I'm so excited to share these downloads with you that occurred over the last week. So, first, do a little body scan. Make sure you're sitting in a comfortable position. If you aren't, adjust. If you're moving around, do so mindfully, taking good care of yourself as we take this little journey together. I'd like to start off with the word urgency. Many of us move in this vibration. For a moment, in a safe state of being, reflect on when you are in a state of urgency. Now, remove emergencies from your thinking, set them aside. Now, when are you experiencing a state of urgency? Perhaps defining urgency will help. A swift action, an impulse, an urge. For this download, I felt that it was best described as a nervous system activation, an anxious rushing, a forced, uncomfortable quickness. Reminder, all emergencies are set aside. So then, why would we feel this outside of an emergency? Let's just also put to the side quick changes of plans. A family member needs assistance with a non-emergent thing, but you have to drop everything and head there. Or your boss needs you to send an email right away. Drop everything you're doing, send this email. Or you notice a error on an important document that has to have immediate attention. Put all of these aside. What I want to focus on is the states of urgency that we create. The ones that are possibly optional. The ones within our circle of control. Hitting the snooze button. Leaving yourself barely enough time to get to work. Starting an unnecessary task 10 minutes before you need to make a stressful phone call. Adding in appointments to do tasks on your lunch break. When rushed, when in this state of urgency, the body, well, it helps us out. Activating adrenaline, also known as epinephrine. This adrenal gland function is trying to help you with the danger ahead. It increases your heart rate, dilates your pupils, tenses up your muscles. And then following that comes the cortisol. It's right after the immediate stress is over. This increases your blood sugar levels, it suppresses the digestive system. Your body, so complex, working hard on keeping you alert, safe, quick, agile. But, but hold up. Many of us are in this state of being daily, if not multiple times a day. And for many, there are not immediate emergencies happening. An example from my life, I love, love, love catching sunrises. I will check the weather during the winter to see when there's going to be like a partly cloudy day, no clouds, maybe not a lot of snow, a decent temperature. And then I want to be out there right on the lake, catching that sunrise, meditating, chatting with my guides, receiving downloads, taking videos for my artistic expression. The last one I went to, I slept in. I didn't oversleep and miss it, but I hit the snooze button, giving myself only 20 minutes to make some coffee, to feed the cats, to brush my hair, teeth, get myself ready, to drive down there, get the car started, all of that. Before I even left the house, I was noticing that my functioning was impaired. I set my phone down. Where's my phone? Wait, where are the keys at? I'm in the car. Shoot, I forgot my coffee. I got to go back up and get my coffee. Oh, crap. Now I have to pee. And that urination, that, having to use the restroom after all of that is an indication of cortisol. See, just from rushing, from being in a state of urgency, my body activated adrenaline, then cortisol, so that I could go have a serene, lovely sunrise. The irony. You see, we want the body to activate in state of emergencies. A bear is coming? Fuck, yes, activate. But many of us have been hardwired to activate often and at our own detriment, which this impacts memory function, weight, energy levels, caffeine dependency, mood, many more things than that. Some memory function examples from high cortisol that may be familiar to you: zoning out while driving, checking the time on your phone or watch only to recheck it a couple minutes later or even 30 seconds later because you have forgotten what the time was, reading out of a book and having to reread paragraphs over and over again, stomach ache, putting something down and then forgetting where you left it, being hyper aware of smells, the way that your clothes feel on your body, forgetting why you walked into a room or out of a room, opening your phone, forgetting why, muscle aches, jaw clenching, and many, many more. So, the download: rewire your system so that adrenaline and cortisol does not pop off when not needed. So, a few ideas for you to research. Remember, always check in with your doctor or your medical provider before taking anything I say and implementing it into your own existence. So, magnesium glycinate, this is suggested to help process excess cortisol, reducing anxiety, improving sleep. Exposure to outside light within 1 hour of waking up helps reset and rebalance cortisol and melatonin cycles. I suggest walking while you're getting that first light, because then you're getting that bilateral stimulation. You can get some mindfulness within that. You're getting some movement, which increases your energy levels. Binaural beats to get some of that theta wave action. A high protein breakfast. Engaging in more activities without your phone, computer, television. A very simple search of reduced stress hormones will give you a lot of things to try. For me, the absolute most important step is awareness. The most mindful, or the more mindful and intentional that I am, the less urgency that I feel. So then, as soon as the warning symptoms start, calm down as needed. This is getting to know exactly what stress feels like in your body. Now, many of us have stressful employment, home lives, finances, perhaps just this earth experience activates you. Remember, slow the fuck down as often as you can. Forest bathe, ground, hug a tree, breathe. How you flow throughout your day often dictates how your day will go. I mentioned this earlier, scheduling appointments and tasks on your break. I witnessed myself texting my daughter while prepping for this podcast, while writing down not doing things on your breaks. Then I received a pre-registration text for my upcoming surgery, automatically clicked on it to get that started, and then I felt the rush. It felt like this warm, kind of tingly sensation for me, right kind of in the temples and forehead, a little in the chest. I put my phone down. I wrote this out right now and I'm speaking to you while I was breathing to activate my parasympathetic nervous system. I went and took a bath with some eucalyptus bath stuff. I walked around the house and voila. I was able to get a grip on it quick before the activation could possibly be debilitating for a portion of time. Which, for those of you that are familiar with what adrenaline and cortisol spikes feel like, you know that after there can be an immense crash. For me and for you, we need to stop doing so many things at once because we're capable. You are capable. Yes, I am capable. Yes. But you do not have capacity. Either do I. Listen to our bodies. We are often taking on hard things and we're dismissing that. Keeping a regulated state of being not only helps us feel better physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, it also assists with us connecting to our gifts, which can be located within our true, authentic, loving awareness, our favorite version of ourselves. Learning to turn off the trauma responses, learning to identify them. When I reached for my phone and was doing this podcast prep, and then I started to fill out pre-registration for surgery, My body was activating because I have had surgery before and it was traumatic. The body remembered. So as I was filling out this in a hurry, not doing it mindfully, not providing myself with this loving awareness and gentle approach at it, immediately the activation began. So we're unlearning coping mechanisms that we needed to survive in our past. In the past, perhaps we had to do things in a state of urgency. We had to do so many things at once because maybe slowing down wasn't an option. We're relearning who we are and how to thrive. And then we start to activate our Ka energy. Pronounce ki, Kee. Pronounce that way, spelled Ka. Got it. Okay. It is your unique personality and characteristics with free-flowing ki, similar to chi. We are able to step into so many gifts. I enjoy Amora Kuan Yin's description in the Pleiadian workbook. She created the term full sensory perception to replace the term psychic and extrasensory perception. I believe, similar to Amora, that we all have the ability, as she says, to use our senses at expanded levels beyond physical stimuli. However, we must take serious our healing journey. We gotta follow the breadcrumbs for our own individual paths. You will know that you found information that's for you because there will be this magic synchronicity. In 2023, I followed a breadcrumb that led me to purchase Amora's workbook, which now is being incorporated into this podcast. My middle name is Amara. Pretty sure her name is pronounced Amora. I guess I'm not sure if it's actually pronounced Amara. Okay, just double checked. No, Amora. Okay. But you see, for me, the synchronicity of my middle name being Amara, her name being Amora, the information coming to me the exactly right time. See, this is find your own synchronicities and watch the magic unfold. It's a beautiful, complex masterpiece. I mean, it's your life and it's written by you. I mean, well, once you're aware that you are the author, I'm not saying that it's just that simple. Trust me, I am doing the same work. It's easier, of course, short term, to not think about any of this. Get lost in substances, technology, gossip, distraction, dissociation, cortisol, adrenaline. Easier short term. But for many of us, life has a way of showing us, in one way or another, options. I don't know about you, but I have stopped wanting to go through the door labeled, I was shown the signs and didn't listen. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's an adventurous door, but the lessons attached to it are pretty fucking hard. And I want to go through the door labeled, I got you, boo. Like way more. Like, I got you, I'm listening. And I believe that it just takes us showing up as our authentic self, as authentic we can be in each moment, of course, at the level of awareness that we are, by observing ourselves, by working on evolving, by loving ourselves and others. Now, to be able to pick your preferred door, an awareness of domestication is likely necessary. So, Don Miguel Ruiz Jr., The Mastery of Self, he describes stages to work with. You can find his exact words on page 23. I'm kind of interpreting this, paraphrasing with my own little spin on it. He does not use the word stages, but stage 1, domesticated. You're told who, what, when, usually occurs during childhood. However, this actually continues to happen over and over again if we're really observant. And we believe the dream, the reality, like it was told or taught to us. The example in his book, grandmother says it's a sin to not finish your food, clean your plate. Stage 2, self-domestication. We no longer need anyone to tell us. We tell ourselves, we domesticate ourselves. So we eat all the food on the plate without grandma even being there. Stage 3, attachment. We believe the dream taught to us so much that we spread it. We pass it on to the next generation. Our children sit at the table, eat all your food. It's wasteful not to. Even if you're not hungry, even if you don't like the way that tastes, eat it. And then if someone argues with us that they don't think that that is a correct way of doing things, we will become so attached, as it will become part of our identity, that we will take it very personal and become angered at the thought that someone does not agree with our dream. Ruiz shares, domestication and attachment work hand in hand to keep you separated from your authentic self, lost in the fog and smoke, trapped in the drama of the party. This cycle can continue for generations until you transform into a master of self and break the chain. So, fam, fuck that chain. We are not living out generation after generation of limiting belief systems that keep us small, that keep us disconnected from our innate gifts. We're walking through the I got you boo door. We're going to show up big for ourselves and for others every day. We're not going to allow anyone to tell us who we are, who to love, how to connect. We're going to follow our breadcrumbs from source, from our guides, from our healed ancestors. We are quite literally reprogramming this reality, because those who are crazy enough to believe that they can change this world are the ones that do it. And other people around us might not be on this station. They might not be tuned into this frequency. We're not standing there with ego. There's a quote from the Tiny Buddha calendar for today, March 8th. One of the greatest awakenings comes when you realize that not everybody changes. Some people never change. That's their journey. It's not yours to try to fix it for them. So we have to focus on ourselves here. If we're taking a journey and some people aren't able to come along with us, that's part of this earth experience. Sometimes we outgrow people. Sometimes people outgrow us. Sometimes our life takes us in a direction where we no longer match the vibe or the frequency of activities that we used to engage in. A reading from the Osho deck. First card, harmony. Really practice feeling what harmony feels like. Sit and see if you can cultivate that feeling internally until you can really feel it. And when you realize that you're able to feel harmony just from speaking out the word harmony, just from thinking about it, just from visualizing what harmony feels like, what your flow feels like. So that any time that you fall out of your intended state of being, of what you've chosen to be the embodiment of, is you can return back to that state of being. And the practice of falling off and returning to, it strengthens those neural pathways. It rewires the sensory neurites in your heart. It rewires the nervous system to activate less with those adrenaline and cortisol spikes. Next card, guidance. Ask for guidance. Ask, show up, ask. Read the book, Ask Your Guides by Sonia Choquette. I truly, truly believe wholeheartedly that we have healed ancestors, angels, guides, entities, beings, animal guides, plant guides. I mean, we're surrounded, source energy, surrounded by loving awareness that wants to help, but we have free will. So we can go on without asking for any help. And once we ask for help and you start to observe, you can see how everything starts to line up to really help us get to that place that we desire to be, as long as there is no harm to ourselves or others in the process. Last card, the dream. Check in, fam. Check in. Are you living a domesticated dream? One that was chosen for you? Are you in charge of what you're creating right now? Or are you people pleasing, caretaking, living outside of your authenticity? It's time to show up you. There is no other you. It's time to really allow everyone around you to see exactly who you are. If they don't stick around, good. If they do not stick around, they were not your match to begin with. They were not on the same radio station. You were pretending to be on a different station, or you both were pretending, or whatever it was. If it's not a match, and if somebody doesn't stick around, there's a reason. If in the process of getting to your authentic self, it gets a little messy, if your journey is a little bumpy, maybe you took the door. I was shown the signs and didn't listen. And it's a little bit of a muddy trek, and people don't stick around for it. Those are not your people. They're not. Because if they're your people, they see how every single version of you morphed into the next version, and they love you. They love you for challenging yourself. They love you for evolving. They love you for, doing the work. They don't project their own insecurities onto you because they see you being big. They see you shining bright. So it's okay. I know that sometimes it can feel like this is a lonely, lonely road. But it takes a while to be able to find people that match your frequency, to be able to find people that are really going to enjoy your company in non-altered states, perhaps. Just your authentic self vibing. Someone who is going to know that you're working on certain things and that you're a work in progress, and they're not going to judge that. It takes a while. And you're worthy to be surrounded by people like that so then you can get closer and closer to cultivating these amazing gifts that you have been given here. So many amazing gifts. Thich Nhat Hanh, love by the way you walk, the way you sit, the way you eat. The world needs very much love. Yes. Let's ripple it out. Let's ripple out that loving awareness. Thank you for taking a little ride on this bus. I appreciate you. I'll see you next week.